Hey, it's Walt with One Fall WrestleCast. We got some stuff to talk about this week. Wrestling was actually kind of wild this week. I'm into it. We're back on our normally scheduled time here on Monday, right around 8:30. Derek has not joined us yet, so we know what that means. But a couple of things we do want to talk about this evening. NXT versus AEW one night stand. We're gonna jump into that. Man, what the hell happened in the main event of Dynamite? We're gonna talk about that, and there's a lot of other little nitpicky things that I would like us to discuss, and we're gonna do that right after this. Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
Oh,
Yeah.
What's going on?
I'm the champion from 2 weeks ago, pal.
Yeah. We're missing the other guy. We got to take a bet.
We do. I think that as the defending champion,
Yeah, I think you
should
get to pick
have
first. Yeah,
I should have the honor of picking first, and
I agree.
I'm going to say that he is here by 8:45.
I'm going to say he's here by 8:40.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna undercut you a little bit.
Yeah, undercut me a little bit.
I appreciate you giving me an opportunity.
No, that's fair. No, that's
but let's be fair. He might have started cutting the grass.
I mean, he very well could be cutting Timmy's grass next door, or Johnny, or Jimmy, or Frank, or Teresa, whoever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So
it's very possible.
I really would like to save the AEW versus NXT showdown for whenever our friend does decide to join us this evening.
I think we will get him. So we could save it. There was a ton of stuff happening though. Anyway,
yeah, for sure.
Luckily for me, I also got a second monitor. So if I look this way, it's because I can look at you and I can look at my other monitor. I almost put you on this monitor, but then I was like, then I'm gonna be staring.
Yeah,
it
doesn't
wrong.
work that way because my second monitor right here. I also have some noodles, and I apologize for that, but I'm almost done eating.
I'll carry you through the noodles. Noodles are essential sometimes. You just got to have the noodles. I did yell at Derek this week. I told him to buy his daughter a bed and some princess sheets.
Yes, I did catch that conversation.
That was a fun conversation.
So I was in Vegas this week.
You were. It's okay. I carried the chat without you. Okay, here's where we start. So let's see. We got some stuff going on here. Why were there boobies in the chat? That doesn't make sense.
I remember. I'll tell you why.
Kevin Nash.
Because Lacey Evans is the troll of all trolls.
Let's start there. This is a good place to start because it was funny.
So I pointed this out to you guys. I must have just been randomly scrolling Instagram and I saw it. And she was like, oh, click the link in my bio for exclusive content. And I'm like, no, there's no way. Right. So me being the mark that I am, I clicked on it. I went in and a sure shit popped up on the little link thing. And it was like OnlyFans. I'm like, there's no way she got clearance to do this. So I clicked it. I had to know, right? And then it was a little meme of Jesus poking out behind the door that said, I'm very disappointed in you.
I know. It was so good. That was one of those. I didn't even see it because it was down, but you called it to my attention and you were like, you screenshotted all of it and put it up. And I was like, That's hilarious. Not only that, but so Lacey Evans has been sort of like, I don't know, she's like a hero to me now just because of her backstage antics. And so she and Sammy Guevara were actually they tried out at the Performance Center at the same time.
I
And
was unaware of that.
she pointed out something. Sammy Guevara was in there and it was something about doing a roll or whatever. And he did a roll and he popped up and he said, "That's how you do it, baby." And she goes, 1, his roll was terrible. 2, I'm not his baby. So he's going to have to learn that. And I was like, shit, that's hilarious. Now we know. Now we know. Now we know. And now we know how wonderful she is as just as a human being, because she's ready to get us at all times, which is something that I can't help but appreciate.
Yeah, right. Like I appreciate the effort that she put into trying to get everybody to mark out, and I pointed it out. It was like fresh, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I pointed it out, maybe that post might have been like 6 minutes old, and everybody picked up on it a few hours later. And
It
we're
was
talking about
hilarious.
trolled the internet and this and that and the other. And man, she did her job this week, that's for sure.
She's a national treasure. I'm very always excited to see you guys shared a lot of Facebook crap this week. Facebook sucks, so maybe don't share Facebook posts. But we don't want to talk about Hangman getting knocked the fuck out. Do we want to talk about Adam Cole yet? Or do we want to talk? Hey, Steel got released. What else happened?
It still got released. We're talking CM Punk buyout is seemingly on the horizon.
These are all things we got to wait for Derek for.
Also the reported rumored interest of CM Punk possibly returning to WWE.
Yeah, we got to talk to Derek about that. See, this is like, I wish he wouldn't have decided to cut the grass at fucking 8:30 in October.
Yeah, man. You know what? Here's something that we can talk about. So, Kevin Nash's son Tristan, 26 years old, suddenly passed away this week.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's wild, right? Like,
so I don't know if you saw today, but Kevin Nash had spoken about it and kind of gave a. Did you see?
I did not.
Okay, so let me fill you in on it. Apparently, they had both decided to quit drinking, and if you'll remember, Mox had said something similar to this. So anyway, allegedly, if you drink enough, alcohol withdrawal it'll kill you. It can kill you, and you could have a seizure and a heart attack on live TV, which is what Mox was worried about. Apparently, this is exactly what happened to Kevin Nash's son.
Wow,
They
I
had
was unaware of that.
They had decided to quit drinking because they were doing their podcast together, and it was their thing. They were going to do it together as father and son. Apparently, a month or so ago, like Kevin Nash had cut it out cold turkey, but his son had like 5 beers during their like podcast or whatever, and he got mad about it. And anyway, so he had been going through withdrawals and things like that, and had a seizure, and went into cardiac arrest during said seizure. Died. They were able to revive him, but there was just too much damage. And
hey, Tom, so it looks like you're going to get the W here, but you got to no sell this.
Okay, I'm not selling anything. I'm
letting
Penny out.
Man, that's crazy. Like, really super disappointing that. 26 years old, man, and from what I gather, in the initial reports, they had kind of had an estranged relationship for most of Tristan's life.
Yeah,
probably due to wrestling things.
Right. Yeah, I mean, just the schedule. Kevin Nash does. I mean, he seems like a guy who's probably a hard guy to have be your father. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He seems like a guy who maybe is a little too blunt, maybe not quite the fatherly figure you would hope for as a young child, let alone an adult. So I think he was trying to amend his ways, but I guess it was a little late. But that sucks.
Yeah, definitely does. I mean, T's and P's go out to Kevin Nash and his family.
For sure. I mean, it's awful. It's not,
it's
you don't
absolutely
want to see. And having listened to that podcast a couple times, he had good insights, and he was an interesting guy to listen to as well. And he and his father were developing somewhat of a good rapport in those podcasts. And it was, it's one of those things where it's like they were just getting started. So it kind of is sad, and it sucks that they don't get to keep doing that, because it seemed like it was a good thing. It was becoming a good thing, and it's just cut short. Which is
man, it's a little crazy. And I don't know. I really don't. I don't know. Hey, so how about WWE and NXT on Tuesday poking fun at the internet wrestling community with the Good Brothers segment, and
with the money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was fantastic.
It was because it's with them, and man, I guess they got heat with New Japan for that.
They definitely have heat with New Japan, because they're going to go do Blood Money, and
for sure
they're going to get that WWE payday. And Carl Anderson was booked to defend the Never Openweight Championship on November 5th. And then they released a promo on the old Twitter machine. And
that was a good promo, too.
It was a good promo.
He didn't go through. Luke Gallows was like, they didn't go through me. Gotta go. We show up. You got to go through me. And it was... Yeah. It was funny. I thought it was a good send off. I just assumed that, because it seemed like a very New Japan kind of. You won, by the way. It seems like a very New Japan kind of thing. So the still.
Now I'm going to give you the W.
Why? He's not here.
About 3 minutes now.
Okay. All right. Anyway,
you forget I can see backstage.
Okay, I know what's going on. All right, never mind.
He's listening to us, trying to get caught up to the conversation instead of just coming in.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Sorry.
Which is his fuck, I'm late. They started the show MO.
There he is.
And then I gotta reshuffle the deck, and he doesn't have echo cancellation on.
How do you not have echo cancellation?
All right, so for one,
although to be fair, I sound amazing.
My Yeti's fucking up. I'm Chromebook. I've got no other excuses other than that, but we'll talk about that later.
Don't worry about it. I took care of your echo cancellation for you, pal.
Ta-da! It's you realize it's literally in StreamYard, right?
No,
it's not like you have to have anything special.
More involved in that.
It's okay. I took care of it, Tom.
It's a checkbox. There's nothing involved.
No. I promise. It's my microphone's been kind of a jerk lately.
Heard. So it sounds like I'm gonna have to make a trip down to the hauler, Tom, and check our little buddy's fucking audio setup for him.
He works in IT.
I mean, oh my God. Clearly.
I don't work on the weekends.
It's Monday.
Monday, bro.
I don't work in the evenings unless I'm getting on the clock.
Hey, so Derek finally joined us. It's 8:43 Eastern Standard Time for those of you keeping score at home. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and let that be, right? Anywho, so Derek's here, and now we can start the fucking show. Yeah. And we can talk about the things that we really wanted to talk about this evening. Okay? And, Bud, your boy Ace Steel got released from AEW this week.
Man, Ace Steel gone. I can't believe it took this long. What's it been, 2 goddamn months?
I can't believe he was put on me as my boy.
Well, I mean, they're all your boy at this point. Buddy.
Derek's like, I don't even know who this man is.
I don't even know this motherfucker.
He bit Kenny Omega. That's all I know. That's his whole resume. Ace Steel bit Kenny Omega on the arm. Can confirm because Kenny Omega had bite mark.
Yes.
That's
it. Bite marks could not be confirmed if it was from a dog or a human. It could be canine, could be human. We're not certain.
Larry!
He did save Larry.
No, Kenny Omega saved Larry.
That's what I mean. Kenny saved Larry. Maybe Larry bit him in the kerfuffle.
That's a possibility.
I just there was a kerfuffle.
A
Is that what we?
It's a
kerfuffle.
plausible kerfuffle that went on. There was a lot of outcomes that could have happened.
I mean, when shit hits the fan. I mean, I have cats, but like when shit hits the fan, like if my cat bites me, trying to save itself, I'm not gonna be mad at the cat. So if Larry bit Kenny and it wasn't Ace Steel.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if Kenny was like, "Oh my God, Larry!" and he ran over and picked him up, and Larry was like, "Rah!"
That might have been what happened. I don't know.
You mean what really happened?
I'm not saying that didn't happen. I'm saying it's a plausible scenario. But yeah, Ace Steel. After if you'll remember, he also threw a chair at Nick Jackson's head.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I can't tell them apart anyway. They need to wear like name tags.
Well, one has blonde hair and one has dark hair. Like,
Nah, don't lie to. Don't tell me that. That's not true.
That's absolutely true.
No, they're the same human. They're just copied. One just boop boop.
One has a beard, one doesn't.
No, they're the
One's
same
a little
person.
stubby, one isn't.
No, don't tell me that. They're the same person, just copy.
I mean,
copy
there are clear visual differences between them, and I still can't tell them.
I'm just saying, I've never like made a distinction in my head to decide. Okay, this one's Nick and that one's Matt. I've never known.
They're just the not so young bucks.
They're not. It
makes no sense that you get to sit here and rep Jimmy and Jay Uso, and I could just come up here and be like, well, one has a DUI, one doesn't.
That's true.
Like,
yeah. To be fair, I can't really tell. I can't really tell you.
But what Tom's trying to tell you subtly there, Derek, is that he can tell Jimmy and Jay apart because they matter in his world.
I can't really tell Jimmy. I mean, I can.
It's really cute.
But like it takes like if I haven't seen them in a minute, I have to be like because they change. Like they get different haircuts and they get like they put like so I have to be like, all right, which one's Jimmy, which one's Jay? And then I figure it out. I'm like, okay, I got this one. I go for it.
So basically that point that Walt was making, it kind of swirled around the drain there for a minute, and then it went. Because Tom doesn't even know what you're talking about.
No, that's not true. I do know who Jimmy and Jay are, and I can tell them apart usually. But back to Ace Steel. So, can you guys actually believe that they just released him? Like they held on to him for this long?
I'm gonna just go ahead and err on the side of caution here and say that they probably made this decision a couple of weeks ago, and somehow were able to keep it from the Meltzer marks.
They didn't tell the Bucks. That's why.
To buy themselves a little bit of time, right? Like I've really got to feel that is what happened. I think that the justice on this was probably swifter than we were led to believe.
Yeah. Maybe you're right.
But they just kept it from the Meltzer marks, and you can't even say that it's the Bucks because the Bucks are at home and they have no idea what the fuck's going on.
That's right. Nobody's talking to them.
Presidents. Yeah, I mean,
nobody's talking to them. Although apparently all the YouTube dirt sheets are like the Bucks. Oh, when's the Elite coming back? That's as soon as Ace Steel got released, they're like, oh, when's the Elite coming back? Because it's like in their mind there was no chance ever at all that the Elite weren't coming back. Like,
here's the funny
what happened. There was Ace Steel got a payday to last him a lifetime, though.
Probably. Did he though?
He has to do nothing. I mean, he's probably on those. Shoot, what was that called back in the 90s? The insurance plan you could get. I'm sorry, we'll just move on from that because I can't remember. But yeah,
Affleck.
No, not that.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know that I ever.
He's got a nice payday. That's what I'm trying to imply here. He's got a nice payday. Ace Steel has a nice payday coming to him. He's going to bow out of the AEW. Whatever. He wasn't even in there anyway. He was in there for not even a cup of coffee. You know, it was like a month, 2 months.
He was,
and he's going to move on, and he's going to get money for doing nothing. Because Tony Khan, unfortunately, guys, I'm here to kind of take. I don't want to say all that and come out here like I'm going to be a hard ass, but boys, it's not been good lately, and I'm sick of it not being good.
Oh my god, I
That's
really
about
think
as hardcore as I get right there.
I really think we have like watched a transition over the last couple of months here, a few months of Derek.
Listen, all I'm saying is you can clearly tell when Tony Khan started doing coke. That's all I'm gonna say. There's a point in time in the booking where TK's like, "What is this, baby powder?"
Somebody told him at some point, "Look, you can't keep up with Vince McMahon. I mean, not unless you're on cocaine or something. Like the man works 22 hours a day."
That's how that went.
And he went, and he didn't hear you can't keep up with Vince McMahon. What he heard is, I can do cocaine. There was a distinct shift in the booking.
And then everything went like this. Oh, shit. But hey, so I bring up the Ace Steel thing, though, right? Because shortly after the Ace Steel news was released, reports started swirling that AEW had zero interest in a CM Punk return and that they were looking into options on buying out the remainder of his contract.
I mean, how could you have let's talk about the contract later, but how could you have thoughts of let's break it down real fast. Within a year, you're brought into a company. You're treated like the biggest deal in the world, right? The way he always wanted to be treated in WWE, but he never was because he had to sit there in the huge shadow that was John Cena, right? So,
yep.
And I mean, Triple H, you could even put in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, there was Triple H, Edge. Edge was there too, and then he kind of got shuffled out for the Shield. If we're being honest,
yeah.
And so it sort of he came in. They fed him to Ryback, not actually because he beat Ryback, but they let Ryback beat the hell out of him. That's his, according to him. They let Ryback beat the hell out of him, and then they got rid of him. And that's not the story WWE told. WWE said he was a cancer in the locker room. He was the son of a bitch to be around, and we just couldn't take it anymore. And then he didn't show up to work, and that was good enough for us. And we got the fuck rid of that guy, and we have no intention of ever doing business with him again. And in the WWE, they always said never say never. But with him, it was everybody was like, no, there's 0% interest. They can. In fact, when he was hired by AEW and WWE, somebody higher up in Triple H's group was like, that's fine. He could be their problem. And turns out Phil was their problem. So he shows up, is treated the way he always wanted to be treated in WWE.
A god.
Like a god. Comes out, puts over MJF, sort of. Although they have another one.
Come on, bro.
I'm
not going to let you. I'm not going to.
He had one more spot to fucking do, and he wouldn't do it.
He had the last match. He won the last match they had. He took the last match.
And this is yes, he did, Derek.
I know that, but I'm saying that he would have had the championship,
right? And then MJF would have beat him.
Yes,
so what you're telling me is you're agreeing with Tom that he sort of put MJF over. I thought we were talking about the first thing. I've got opinions about him not.
I thought he was trying to say that he did enough for MJF to say that he put him over.
No.
I'm not saying that. I was saying
that
he still had to get his heat back. Had to get one over on MJF.
Which made sense. Which made sense the way that the booking was going, where CM Punk was going to be the world champion, and you knew at some point him and MJF were going to run into each other for the championship. We talked about it at length on this show.
Sure, we did. And look, and that's fine. But then he became the champion, but he got hurt, and then he was the interim champion while he healed that, and then he came back. Won the championship again off John, the guy who carried the company on his back instead of going on vacation with his wife. Just was like, all right, put it on my back, I got it, and just ran through the summer with it while Punk nursed his injury. Gets hurt again, and then right after, with the championship on his shoulder, not even washing his face after the match, comes out and says, "I'm sorry, I'm old, I'm hurt, I work with fucking children." Yada yada, and it's like he buried the whole locker room, the entire locker room.
No, he didn't bury the locker room, pal. He buried the company.
He buried the company. The whole company.
Tony Khan sitting right next to him with a fucking stupid smile on his face. He buried everybody.
So he buries everybody, And he says, all right, anybody that wants to come, talk to me about it, come talk to me about it. The Young Bucks, the lawyer was there. Did the Young Bucks show up to start a fight and bring the lawyer with them?
Hey, apparently, allegedly, what had happened is they kicked the fucking door in. Okay.
But then that got
Kenny Omega
happened
scrambled to fucking pick up Larry and run, and Larry bit fucking Kenny. Okay. And Ace Steel got hit in the fucking dick by a wife with a chair. And like the fishing story keeps on growing. At this point, I don't care. I just want some resolution.
But if anything, at this point, Larry opened the door. And Larry's what started this whole thing.
Leapt into Kenny's arms and said, Kenny, save me.
So, but here's the biggest problem. Okay.
Power.
I don't give a fuck what anybody says. After this happened, okay, the product has suffered exponentially more since this because every little piece of negativity has come to light. And now every little thing is amplified so much more because of this incident. And it continues to make the company look worse and worse on a week-to-week basis. You got Sammy Guevara back here trying to get knocked out by Andrade and fucking Eddie Kingston. In the meantime, he's fucking Tay Conti on top of the TNT championship and like doing all this dumb shit, and MJF gets fucking engaged, and then somebody wants to turn it into a promo. Oh, fucking cuts his own hair. Wheeler Yuta wants to turn it into a promo. Oh, is she gonna leave you just like you left us? It's a fucking nightmare over there. There's a nightmare. No direction.
That to me made I honestly I shut it off after that. I don't know that I've turned on AEW television since then. At least not on purpose. Maybe I've been bored on a Wednesday.
I hope you watch it on Tuesday because we're gonna talk about the show.
I did watch NXT. I watched NXT on Tuesday. I didn't watch AEW.
Anyways, Derek, like I've got to feel like we're dragging our fucking feet here, okay, with this CM Punk situation, and like TK's got to shit or get off the pot.
To be fair, I think there's still. I think it's tied up in legal. And by tied up in legal, I mean lawyers make everything complicated, and TK let that happen. But that's where we are.
Yeah,
lawyers make everything complicated.
It's definitely tied up in legal, but I mean, there's a certain aspect where you have to finally say a point where, listen, I got to do some television, and we're gonna have to cut you loose. I know we're gonna have to cut you loose, so let's just go ahead and agree to settle that here. We'll do the financials afterwards, but I can go ahead and move forward in my television aspect of things.
Right. And
does that not make sense to you guys?
No, it makes sense. I mean, I think we're there. I think that we see the televisions moving on because now we're getting MJF to be set up against Moxley, which is going to run through Regal because there's no connection between Moxley and MJF as far as the audience is concerned.
I did see that. That was actually
amazing though. So
that was a great. I mean, that was a great promo too. And Regal really Regal sold it. MJF MJF did one of those he sold so hard he broke. He actually made himself cry in the middle of it, which is just like. I mean, you just have to admire this guy's like fucking like commitment to the business because he is so committed, and he continually says it on Twitter. I'm not playing a character. I'm MJF.
Yeah, absolutely,
fantastic.
He's over the top. Like he's everything that like. And I know Derek criticizes his in-ring work sometimes, right? But, like, I think he works like a great heel. He does things the right way as a heel. And I loved what Regal said, Derek. I loved what Regal said when he said, I am a gentleman villain, and you just are a bad guy. Like, I really like that. And I could see some of Regal playing into MJF a little bit here moving forward. What do you think about that, bud?
I think it's great, but I think it's just a.
It was seemingly the only redeeming quality of that Tuesday Night Dynamite.
No. Almost like they're just stumbling into some fantastic elements there that they couldn't have planned this 2 years ago. They could have, but I don't think
they're not smart enough to do that.
To where this type of line is more powerful than it would have been, at any other point.
And like you could just tell how impassioned MJF was, and like that's I've really got to feel like that's a Regal email, right? Like that's got to be right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that there was some added extra stuff that MJF put into it to make the storyline
Oh yeah.
seem a little more personal. Like as
Well,
far
yeah,
as
you've got to have the super,
Yeah.
horrible heel. But gosh,
but man, what an impassioned promo, dude! Like, and there's not a better promo in the business. We are all in agreement on that. What a great talent for AEW, and I really hope that once we get to this Moxley MJF payoff and MJF is the world champion, I hope they do it right, because there's a lot riding on the company's future, I think, with this title change.
Yeah.
And if this title change is goofy or it's fucky ducky, I really feel like it's gonna tarnish the legacy of the AEW championship.
Well, and it might be the
moving
end
forward.
of. I mean, and it could be it could make or break AEW. I think if MJF takes this,
according to Tom, this should have already been destroyed.
You interrupted me to say that. You interrupted me to say that. You motherfucker! How dare you interrupt what I have to say?
His opinion on AEW matters.
Mute him.
Zero.
Mute him now. Mute him now. Mute him now.
No, I have no mute buttons. I am the administrator,
you
motherfucker.
interrupted what I had to say for some non-thought, fucking stupid. You've had nothing to add to anything. All you've done is agree with us all night, and now you interrupt me while I'm making a point for some no thought just comes out of your mouth. Come on.
Hey.
What?
He's watching the Pens, bro. Like,
no, I'm not. No.
Well, we could see it behind you.
Okay, and who was that? Was that Sid that scored that goal?
Yeah, the second one. Yeah, it was sick.
That you were like,
yeah, we could see it behind you. Anyway, my point is,
I wish Tom's wrestling takes didn't suck.
And if MJF's reign isn't Roman Reigns-esque, head of the table-esque, dominant like a motherfucker-esque, then I really think it'll damage AEW.
They're gonna hot potato it right back to Moxley.
And they might have to. They may just do, okay, too young. Hot potato. And then maybe Chris Jericho will get it, because the only two people that can carry the goddamn title are Chris Jericho and Jon Moxley, who consequently are guys that carried the titles for WWE and already knew what to do. So can't make a new star and a new champion. Got to just use the guys who already know how to be champions and just give them the title because they already know what to do with it. So good luck, guys, because we don't have any booking. We don't have any writers. Nobody knows what to do. So if you know what to do with the title, here it is. You go. Make this not suck. And to be fair, Jericho and Mox have made it not suck. But at the same time,
did a good job too. Looking back at it now with where it's been and how it's been handled,
he was the third best champion. He was the third best.
I mean, he went from your worst champion to your middle of the road.
He's the third best champion. I can't.
It makes no sense. You know that doesn't make any sense. You know they're not sitting there booking themselves. None of them have the book.
Really?
This is not.
Have you never listened to Chris Jericho's podcast?
Yeah,
what?
That's not true.
Have you never listened to Chris Jericho's podcast?
That's not true at all. There's zero truth to that.
He literally talks about this all the time. Hey, speaking of, how about Jericho getting a 5-year contract extension this week? Like, what the fuck?
Lock that motherfucker down.
53, right? But you know what it is? You think
he's going to be Kevin Sullivan all over again?
No. Ric Flair. Going to make Ric Flair.
Tony Khan's trying to make him Triple H. He's going to give him Ring of Honor to run as his own fucking device.
No, he's going to give him Kevin Sullivan. He'll be fine.
I'm telling you. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. I'm calling it.
Calling it?
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised when Ring of Honor gets their television deal and Chris Jericho is head of creative for Ring of Honor. Don't be surprised.
I mean, he may just be the guy for Ring of Honor.
Yeah. I'm saying.
They're gonna make him the Vince McMahon of Ring of Honor
because he's already doing it now.
Yeah, I mean that's why he's got the. I hope they get a TV deal for Ring of Honor. Get this shit off of AEW because it's like
I
it's
think
not
it's
making
stunting
anybody
AEW's growth a little bit too, bud. I've been
stunting.
enjoying the matches, but it's stunting their growth
I mean,
because they don't have enough television time for their own television championships.
When was the last time we saw Jade Cargill? I feel like they're running like
They're in a thing right now, but Nyla
they
Rose
stole
has
the
belt.
she stole the
and,
belt,
it's
right?
a
Yeah.
whole thing, and they're throwing shit at the wall, see what sticks. Derek's trying to defend this bullshit. Please go ahead, my friend. I would love to just.
He's not defending it. He was playing with the dog.
Oh.
Were you playing with the dog? Is that what it was?
Yeah, he was playing with his dog.
No, my shit's being a piece of shit.
All right, Derek has technical difficulties. What's the next? So, okay, back to CM Punk's buyout because this is actually something that I think is important. Do you think that they forgot to write into his contract that he's not allowed to punch the other talent like backstage?
Yeah, probably.
Do you think that they fucked it up to the level of like he could throw hands backstage and
yeah, there was probably
like
not a no fighting clause or some shit.
There was probably not a clause back in that contract that he couldn't fight people. Like for real.
Probably, and he probably, I mean, he clearly has experience in extensive litigation. I'm sure that his lawyers were just happy to comb over that, a la Colt Cabana in WWE.
What if I have to punch Colt Cabana? I'm sure he asked his lawyers when he brought that contract up to them. He was like, "What if I have to punch Colt Cabana in the face? Can we make sure that'll still get me paid, even if it gets me fired?" Yeah. And I'm certain
wouldn't be surprised, not one bit.
Yeah.
So the rumor is that the number has been agreed upon.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a different number that they're having arguments about.
What's that number?
And that number is the number of days on a no compete clause.
We touched on this a little bit already, but yeah. I mean, what's it going to do? Go fuck up Impact?
I mean, I sent you guys the meme with CM Punk on the Reaper with the 4 doors, WWE, UFC, AEW, and he's knocking on Impact's door.
What's he going to go fuck up Impact now? What's he going to punch? What's he going to have a fist fight with Jordan Grace?
I mean, she would whoop his ass.
She's got that low center of gravity. I feel like she can get around
flowers.
Can we bring Jordan Grace to a main title roster?
God,
like, can she just
give that woman her fucking flowers?
Can she just dominate the AEW or the?
Yeah, I think that's where she's gonna have to go because she's got that OnlyFans money going forward too.
She does. Yeah, she'd have to. She'd have to go to. She's making that bank too, so she'd have to go to AEW and throw Ty Conti on her head a few times.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think any of us at this point would be upset with that. But listen,
Ty Mello, I'm sorry, Ty Mello, my bad.
Whatever. Who cares? Anyways, at the end of the day, this has just kind of fueled speculation that Triple H might be a little interested
in CM Punk.
The speculation has been a whirling.
I think it's more likely under a Triple H helmed thing than it is would have been under Vince McMahon. I think that they could book him for like a blood money type of thing. I don't think it would be a long-term deal.
Straight edge, hardcore Punk personality, fighting the man would never do blood money.
Is he that guy though? Is he really that guy?
Oh no, that motherfucker is 100% PG Punk.
Yeah, I mean he's like, he maybe doesn't drink or do drugs, but like I think he would take the blood money.
He might.
I think he would take the blood money. Whether or not they offer it to him, whether or not there's still enough salt. I mean, he buried Triple H a lot. He was mad at Triple H. I mean, maybe he doesn't like Triple H enough to do business with him. It might go both ways. Triple H probably doesn't care because in the grand scheme of things, Triple H versus CM Punk, Triple H is the winner. Clearly.
Yeah,
he's in charge of an entire wrestling.
That's Vince's doofus son-in-law.
Well, that's what Punk would say, although the doofus son-in-law somehow managed to double the viewership. But hey, what does he know? What does he know? What do I know?
I mean, what do I
only watch the shows, look at the numbers, and read the dirt sheets. What the fuck do I know? Maybe Punk was right.
Same as the guys in the locker room.
Maybe Triple H is a doofus. Just a big sure. I mean, he doesn't seem that way. It seems like he's a very competent human being. It seems like he's a very competent human being. He knows how to run a wrestling company, double the viewership.
What I would really like out of Triple H? You know what I would really like out of Triple H? Like a leadership series. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I would really like out of Triple H? I would love for him to bring back CM Punk and just no, buddy, it's different. It's gonna be different. I promise you. And then just fucking murder him, like have him just come out and kill him in front of a live audience.
Yeah, but
cut
he
his
never
mic.
go for it. His ego's too big.
Yeah, you're right.
So all of that, I mean, obviously that's going to have to get sorted out one way, shape, or form. No compete or non-compete clause or not. I don't know, man. It's fun to sit here and
where's he going? Who's going to compete?
Yeah,
I mean, there's money on a table somewhere, I guess, for this.
But I just find it real interesting that all this chatter about non-compete clauses all of a sudden kind of, man. You know who we still haven't seen on AEW television? I mean, I don't want to sit here and. I don't want to sit here and fan the flames, man. But like, where's Malachi Black been?
What about Miro? I feel like we've not seen Miro in just as long of a time.
We haven't, and that's I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
Samoa Joe comes out once a month.
Yeah, with
Wardlow
now.
Yeah,
yeah,
Warjoe. Yeah,
Warjoe. Yeah. So
Malachi Black. Let's talk about Malachi Black.
I gotta feel like maybe we're getting worked on this whole thing.
He's still on the roster. I actually looked at this today. He's still on the roster as the head of the House of Black.
Yeah, I bet he is. We're getting worked.
Are we? I don't know, because we haven't seen Buddy Matthews either.
Malachi Black's working us. I'm telling you, he's going back to WWE. He's working us. He's going to try to recreate that same thing that he was able to create showing up early at AEW. He's working us. He did get his release.
Did I hurt Derek's feelings? Is he like, well, but he's still in the AEW roster.
I'm just telling you. Maybe that was part of the
Derek, you okay?
No, we can't hear you at all, bud. No.
You're in a vacuum. Can't hear you. No, we can't hear you.
He keeps talking and just, we just still can't hear you. Yeah.
I can't. I honestly, I'm truthful. I can't hear you. I don't know what you're saying.
I have no idea. Like, why are we doing this still? Hey,
I don't know.
Figure your shit out, bud. Can you do that? So, and Tom and I'll keep on the show. Okay,
we'll go, and then once you can talk again, we'll talk to you, and
and we'll
no bad blood.
In the big topic of the show.
Would love to talk to you. I miss you.
I was just getting ready to segue to, but Tom and I will continue to talk about Malachi Black,
and we can talk about Adam Cole, baby. After that,
you're gonna have to educate me on Adam Cole, baby, because I've didn't see his name in the news all week, so I'll be interested to see what you got to say. Anywho, hey man, maybe that was part of the contract deal though. Like maybe he was like, oh, if we're gonna part ways or whatever, like you want to do this and I'm gonna do that, and a little bit of concession here. Just keep me on the internet until a couple of days before, nobody will notice. So
what you're saying is he had a non-compete clause, and they have to leave him on the internet through said non-compete clause.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the way with Buddy Matthews as well.
Yeah.
Although Brody King is hung out to dry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen him either.
I think he's been on Dark killing fools, but that's. I mean, that could have been taped that could have been taped a month ago, and I don't watch YouTube, so who knows? So just to point out, like, what a failure that was on their part, because they took a guy who I mean, he was out and he got over, and he was
Well,
super over.
Yeah, but he ran into the Cody factor.
He did run into the Cody factor, but even after that, he built the House of Black, right? Am I missing something with that? Like he brought in Brody King. He brought clear like they were in it for the trios titles, but they got Julia Hart. They brought her over. Like this was a built faction of like just tremendous value, right?
Right.
And they just did nothing with them. Nothing happened. It was stop start booking, and nothing ever happened. Nothing came of it. And
like, and here's
whose
the thing
fault
too.
is that?
You're right.
Whoever's fault that is, like that sucks.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Derek talks about this all the time. You know, when we dog on AEW's way of booking, right? And he says, "Oh well, if you're not, you don't have an idea, you just get left out to the wayside." I really have a hard time believing that Malachi Black doesn't have ideas.
I feel like Malachi Black is like the well of ideas, especially for his own character. If he's got his own faction and he's got
broken promises involved here. I
for
100% believe
he
that.
for sure thought that they were going to have a tag team run. Somebody was going to be like a mid card title run. I don't know that anybody promised him like the AEW championship. Although I wouldn't have hated to see him in that picture.
The time that he came in, it would have made perfect sense for him to be a part of that AEW title picture. Perfect sense. At the
I don't know. I don't know why they couldn't build him to it, or build the whole House of Black as just this like undefeatable trio of just monster humans, just who could like you got Brody King, who's bigger than everybody on the roster, and can actually work. Malachi Black, who is one of the best, if not the best worker on the roster. You could have just let Malachi Black and Adam Cole have matches. Maybe. One, Adam Cole wouldn't be hurt right now. Two, I mean, they'd have had the best match of the week every single week. So it's really a matter of like, just lost opportunity. I feel like that's really it's lost opportunity. You had the opportunity, you had the momentum, you had the time, you had the place, and I don't know what happened backstage, or Tony got slighted. Tony, lost track of things. Tony took too much cocaine and just couldn't focus. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it sure seemed like a surefire hit, and it was a big swing and a miss.
Yeah.
And it's a bigger swing and a miss than with Andrade. I feel like Malachi Black has more potential than Andrade, although Andrade also has a lot of potential. And it's just, Andrade's English isn't as good.
He needs that Triple H booking. That's what he needs.
I mean, they both do. They both just need. Oh my God, they put Selena. They just put Zelina. Triple H is like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put Zelina Vega. I'm gonna do what I did with Andrade with Zelina Vega in NXT. However, now you have Legado del Fantasma,
right?
Which is, but oh my God! Oh, these like 3 segments have been like?
But I'm saying Escobar doesn't really need a mouthpiece, though.
He doesn't, but they let him talk too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Like, I don't know. We'll see. It's got legs. It's got legs, but I want to see if it runs.
I don't know that they necessarily. I don't know that they necessarily need her long term. I think the intent is to put her back with Andrade at some point and let Legado del Fantasma go do their own thing. I think that's the thing. I think this is like the stepping stone. This is like the while we figure out when we get Andrade back, and Charlotte probably too. We'll get Andrade and we'll get Charlotte. She can do good things with Legado del Fantasma because it doesn't make Legado del Fantasma worse.
No,
it only adds to it. It helps them get over, and it's only been 2 segments, but both those segments, like, holy shit, that was great. And they were like kind of in the middle of like SmackDown, which were like the last 2 SmackDowns were sort of mediocre anyway. and it was like, oh, okay, now I'm paying attention.
Pick me up, huh?
Little, ooh, baby.
So why don't you school me and Derek on Adam Cole, baby? What's going on?
I believe we talked about this last week, and that's why I think. But I do have a good segue. So, Adam Cole, right? Concussion,
Yes.
major concussion.
Yes.
Don't know when he's coming back, if ever.
Yes.
Um,
Did a whole show on it last week.
we did. Probably still not coming back soon. It's probably going to be a long time. It's less cleared tomorrow than it is. We don't know.
Right.
So there's that, and this is this week. So there's that. But to segue into that this week, who was Adam's Cole? Who was Hangman Page's best feud with?
Adam Cole, baby.
At Bebe. Yes. Now, who is also incredibly concussed? Bebe.
Adam Hangman Page.
Adam Hangman Page. So, I think I led it wrong, but I think the correct way to have interpreted this segment is AEW a safe place to work? And I would say the answer to that question is no. Thoughts?
I mean, it
Does
really
somebody get a massive concussion every week?
not every week. I mean, Darby Allin just came out a couple of days ago saying that he thought his match with Jeff Hardy was going to be his last. Like that's scary talk from a very young.
Well, and from a guy who doesn't give a shit about his body.
Yeah, he does do dumb shit. But so here's the whole thing, right? I don't necessarily know that it's safe nor unsafe. I think that we all agree that there's nobody saying no, right? And I think that kind of puts us in the situation where it's the inmates running the asylum and they're able to do and do whatever they want. And the crux of the situation, Tom, is that this wasn't a dangerous spot. This was just a clothesline that they've done thousands.
Everybody has. I mean, this is a clothesline that Mox. This is a clothesline that Mox has been doing. I mean, clearly since AEW. But it was. I think that a big clothesline was his thing in AEW.
This is one of those things where this is an accident. This is no different than Ridge Holland and Big E. This was an accident. This was one of those things that you look at that you don't want to see. It's an unfortunate thing. I thought the match was great up to that point.
It was, and then it got called off. But so hear me out. Let's couple that with the Athena and XYZ's jobber match on Dark.
Athena should never be allowed to wear wings.
But did you see the match on Dark? I'm sure you saw it after the fact. Like when it was like
the fact.
So like it was on Dark. Nobody cares about Dark, but it was way too stiff. And Athena beat the shit out of this chick. And
I mean, what's to say though, too, Bud? That's not a conversation backstage with this girl, and she's not.
And
she's not like, hey, lay your shit in. Like, I'm trying to get a job here, bro.
No, it was an after the fact. There was, I mean, maybe she did, but there was an after the fact discussion about it backstage of how you.
I think it's funny that Tom thinks he needs to be the police for this shit. Whenever,
buddy, I'm just telling
buddy, you didn't get your ass beat. It's fine,
buddy. I'm just telling you what was reported. I don't care.
Listen here, buddy.
I'm not your
buddy guy.
I'm not your buddy guy. I'm not your guy, pal. Anyway, look, when Brock Lesnar and Chris Benoit were throwing dudes on their heads, and everybody was like, "No, this is fine. We talked about this." That was one thing. I didn't like that either, but and it was talked about at the time. But everybody came out and like, "No, we're fine. These guys are professionals, and I'm a professional, and we're good." And maybe this is the case in this, right? In this segue, maybe this is the case. Athena looked like she beat the shit out of this girl. This girl looked like she took it, though.
She absolutely did.
And seemed to be like there was no injury. Everything was fine. Everything worked. Everybody landed the way they were supposed to land, and things were good. But at this point, it's a sum of all parts, right?
I just don't see a problem with it. Don't see a problem with a talent working snug with an up and comer. I don't see a problem with that.
I don't see a problem with it either, but do you do it the day of or the day after one of your former champions just gonna knock the fuck out in the ring? Do you do it while while the internet dirt sheets, who we know Tony Khan is so into? That was for the pens, not for us.
It's gotta be a reason.
You thought he was talking about the pens, and he's getting ready to light you up, pal.
Okay, well let me make hold on. Let me make my point. And then you can lay into me.
Goddamn, I'm sorry.
And then feel free to lay into me. Okay? So at this point in time where concussions are running rampant in AEW, is this the time to work stiff? Or is this the time to maybe snug? Or is this the time to maybe make sure we're just being a little extra careful? Now, to be fair, Chris Jericho was a little extra careful with with his tombstone this week. It was like it was weak as shit. It was just like nobody got hurt.
Hey, listen. Kudos to the AEW production team though for realizing that was about to be a fucking train wreck and switching camera views so that it looked behind Jericho.
Yeah, it looked great. It looked great on TV. There was another. Growth. You're right, because there was another angle that you could that got posted at some point that was very soft. But you're right. They on TV it was oh god, he's dead. But no, on it was like and so that's growth. But anyway, Derek, you were about to bury me, so please go ahead.
He probably forgot.
No. I want to hear what he had to. No. I want to hear what he had to say. Think about it.
Love Tom. He's the smartest
person
ever. Yeah.
Bring it back. No. I want to hear what you have to say. Bring it back.
I don't know. What were you bitching about?
See, I told you. You just gotta let him go sometimes, Tom, because you're not gonna lose your train of thought.
I was legitimately mad for a minute, like I had something on you, and then
I told you, bro. God, man, that's quality fucking podcasting right there.
I love you, Tom. About that. I'm not trying to take your moment away, but damn.
Quality podcasting right there.
I don't know nothing but
listen.
Write it down. Do you have a notebook? Can you write? Can you speak English? Can you write English?
I used to write stuff down, and then it made no sense to me.
God damn it.
So
can we get somebody to write? We don't make enough money for that. Anyway, go on.
So listen, okay. Tom, I get what you're saying. Okay. I get your point. I get your opinion. Right. But at the same point in time, man, it's not like Hangman and Mox were jumping off of fucking 55-foot ladders into the middle of the ring.
This I agree with you.
Hangman didn't do anything. Hangman was 1 inch off from a normal ass. This happens every day.
Derek actually buried Hangman. He was like, well, maybe if he'd listened to the veterans, he wouldn't have a concussion right now.
That was funny.
It was funny. I laughed.
Okay.
I'm telling
you. Funny meme? And then later on in the show.
It wasn't a meme. It wasn't a meme. You typed it. You thought about it in your head. It thought about it in your head, and it came out your fingers, and you typed it.
Listen, and the fact that it came out of his fingers, that was a lot of work because his phone was probably across the room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe if he'd listened to veterans, he wouldn't have a concussion right now.
Good.
Thanks, Derek. Also, other things, I love when Derek's right. I love when Derek's right, because the other things, what did Derek say? Otherwise, my favorite wrestler in AEW this week is whoever punched Sammy Guevara in the face.
What if that was Joey Janela?
Oh, he's not an AEW, but I feel like Joey Janela would have punched if you'd have said that. If you'd have said that while Joey Janela was still in AEW, Joey Janela may have been your favorite wrestler of that week, because Joey Janela would have thought about he would have listened to this podcast collectively and been like, oh man, I should go punch Sammy Guevara in the face. Somebody will like me.
Yeah,
and he would have had some new fans. He would have had a handful of new fans.
Ex-fiance.
So listen,
my school.
I think that we can all agree that dumb shit happens in AEW, right? But this
Sure.
isn't one of those cases. This is an accident.
No.
It's just an unfortunate accident, and it's unfortunate that this accident has happened in the timing that it has happened when the company is in such turmoil over lots of injuries, the drama backstage, and this, that, and the third.
So
I
is
think
AEW, this brings me back to my original question, is AEW a dangerous place to work? Will Ace Steel throw a chair into your face? No, he's fired now. Will you get bit by Ace Steel? No, he's fired now. Will you get bit by Larry? I think Larry's fired. Larry's fired. Will CM Punk throw bad punches at your face? No, he might be fired now too. But is AEW a dangerous place to work? Has it been a dangerous place to work for the last 6 months? I think the answer to that question is yes.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Hopefully, it's a less dangerous place to work. Adam Cole would disagree with you. Hopefully, it's a less dangerous place to work moving forward. That's my thought. Hopefully, it's much less dangerous.
I see it from a different point of view.
But I think that there's a point in time from where Tony decided that cocaine was the only way to keep up with Vince McMahon to present day. That AEW was a dangerous place to work. Luckily, nobody got a blood disease. That would have been weird, right? Like somebody, he's out because he got like an infection. Although, have we seen Dustin Rhodes? Has anybody checked on Dustin?
Yeah, he's the head coach for the women's division.
But he's not working. Like he's just talking to chicks, right?
Yeah, he's head coach for the women's division. He's working.
That's good. That's good. Put the guy who put the guy who harassed a stewardess in charge of the women's division. That's great.
But they all love him. Got great rapport backstage.
Oh, good. Well, good. Maybe he's turned the leaf. Good for him.
So, as you're talking about how dangerous this is and blah 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 drama, the only thing that I keep hearing you say is there's just bad leadership at AEW. Like,
there's no leadership. That's the problem. There's no leadership.
So, I think it's unfair.
No gods, no masters.
I think it's unfair to say that the place is dangerous when it's just got bad leadership.
I mean, maybe you've got to the core of the issue, and I think that is the core of the issue. Is that there's a bunch of jobbers that Omos is about to kill. Yes, that's the core of the issue. There's nobody in charge back there. There's nobody saying, "Don't do that." There's nobody in charge. There's no. The
only thing their boss is saying is, "Get yourself over."
Apparently, that's what it's like. That's what the gorilla position looks. What do they call the gorilla position in AEW? Because Gorilla Monsoon didn't work in AEW, so
yeah. But I think everybody calls it the gorilla position just out of respect for Gorilla Monsoon.
I don't think they do. I mean, maybe
because I know Impact is gorilla.
Okay, maybe.
I don't know.
Anywho. I don't know. That's an interesting topic. I would like to know that answer.
Actually, I think AEW might call it the go position because it's really cheesy and corny and bad. It's like
that's on brand.
Triple H needs to see you at Gorilla. Like, Tony wants to talk to you at the go.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's cringy enough. That works for AEW. Is Derek gone? What happened to Derek?
I don't know. He walked away from the screen.
What's all right? Let's just move on because we ain't got. I can't stay up all night.
So we've got Tuesday, right? We all know AEW used to take on NXT on Wednesday nights.
Mm-hmm.
At one point in time, NXT made the decision to move to Tuesday, and AEW heralded that a victory.
They did, although they got beat on the last head-to-head NXT one. Anyway, not important. Adam Cole was on that show, baby, and then NXT kicked his head off, and now he may never wrestle again. So I'm not bitter about that, although it seems like I might be really bitter about that. I'm bitter about it. Anyway.
Know.
I know.
So
It's not a secret.
The thing is, due to Turner Broadcasting's national television deals with Major League Baseball, AEW was preempted from its normal day. Now, they could have taken the Westminster Dog Show approach and just not had an episode that week.
Coulda, shoulda.
But instead, they moved their show to Tuesday and went head-to-head once again with the newly christened Black and Gold brand, NXT.
It's black and white. Or no, it's gold and white.
Okay, whatever it is. So, AEW won in the ratings on Tuesday by a very, very slim margin. What was it? Like margin. 8? It was like 825 to like 759 or something like that.
It was 50,000. It was 20,000 people. It really wasn't. It was a channel change.
I mean,
and it went back and forth through the time slot. AEW had more overall, but it was a very like.
So I find it interesting that the AEW audience traveled to Tuesday. They've become accustomed to traveling. We know that from, Turner's other, the NBA and stuff like that, moving some Rampage tapings around and things like that.
The Saturday shows have fared poorly, very poorly.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that WWE, like the hype of WWE going against AEW and NXT, I think that actually probably helped them by moving, because had they just moved it to Saturday, had they just taped it and moved it to Saturday, it would have got 500,000 viewers. But it was a big deal because it went up against WWE, and WWE hyped it up. Like NXT is going head to head with AEW this week, and they hyped it, right? So it was big hype. AEW won out. I mean, and they did have the bigger stars on the show.
Yeah,
there was a
match. Listen, they were both well-built cards. I watched both of them in like one right after the other. They were both really, really well-built cards. And for the most part, both cards performed their function. I liked both shows.
I'm over AEW. I'm not watching for a minute. Okay, like look, maybe when MJF becomes the champ, like maybe I'll watch at that point. Not that I hate Mox or have anything against Mox, but like I'm just.
Hey, a lot of people think he needs to be fired, or he needs to retire because that he needs to retire because of this incident with Hangman. People are blaming Moxley for this.
Nah, that's not his fault.
No, I didn't think so at all. I watched the clip 100 times. It was an accident.
The accident was Hangman's too.
Nah, it was just an accident.
He just tried to take. It's fine. It was an accident. Look, nobody's to blame here, and Hangman's going to be fine. He's fine. Yeah. He's going to be fine. He'll be back.
So, anyways, we digress.
Very mild. Yeah, we digress.
So, I think that both cards served their purpose. I think they were both very well built, and I thought both shows were really, really good. However, both shows started WWE, Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne, right? And then AEW kicked off with a trios tag team championship match between Death Triangle, Orange Cassidy, and the Best Friends. Now, having watched both shows separately, if I was a live viewer on Tuesday, I would have watched the trios match, and I probably wouldn't have flipped back to NXT, and I would have watched AEW all the way through because I thought it was a well put together show.
I mean, I don't know. It depends how into Rhea Ripley you are.
Listen, I love what she's doing right now. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Like, her whole Judgment Day thing's great, but like, I don't know.
I'm pretty into Rhea Ripley, so I mean,
Roxanne
Perez, I didn't turn that off. I was like, let's go, let's fucking go. That was my thought. I was like, when that hit, and I was like, sold. I'm here. I am here for the haul.
And I don't know, man. Like, I just. I know that you and I specifically have been critical of the Lucha Bros as a tag team, right? But like the Death Triangle dynamic, there's just
That
something
works better.
between
It
the
does.
three of them that just make the Lucha Bros so much more entertaining. And it's like,
It's Pac. It's just that Pac is so good. He's so good, um, and it's the way he sells things. When Pac takes a DDT, he stands up like this. His
bro,
feet
nobody
are in
sells
there.
the orange punch better than Pac.
I mean, it's everything. It's everything. Pac makes everybody look better. Nobody looks better in the ring than Pac is the 1-2-3 kid. Like let's put X-Pac aside. Pac is the 1-2-3 kid. And if you can't have a good match with Pac, you shouldn't be wrestling on TV. And that's period. It's just Pac's gonna make everybody look good. And he made this match look amazing. I just it's it's Pac. He's toned that down a little bit. Ray Fenix still does all his gimmicks where he walks on the ropes and does the thing. I love it. It's great. Look, it's good.
It fits better because of the way that Pac conducts business. Those high spots just they feel better. You know what I mean? Like they feel like they
Pac
fit
looks
better.
legit. Pac, like when Pac hits you,
He's absolutely legit.
Pac throws punches. Pac throws correct wrestling punches. I like Daddy Magic. I really do, but he throws the worst punches in the world. They don't hit. He fought Bryan Danielson. He missed like 13 punches. Like they were like, and like Bryan Danielson, he tried to lean into him at some point. It was just so, and like he pulled back. It was just
so.
Pac is so good
for me. Right? Like that was enough to keep me there. That would have been enough to have kept me there. And I've got to wonder if that was like the coin toss, right? I mean, there's merit to both leading matches, but I think that from my standpoint, I'm leaning with whatever's got me in that first match, that first segment. So like if you lead off with a Roman Reigns and you would have led off with Roman Reigns against that match, I would have stayed with Roman Reigns. I would have watched that segment first.
They're not like that's just not how WWE works. They're gonna.
I didn't say. I mean, not on NXT. That's not how it works.
No, yeah.
They always lead with a banger, and there wasn't anything wrong with the match. I'm just saying, like that's where I'm at. Like I said, I thought both shows were fucking fantastic.
I mean,
and you just got what happened in AEW.
I don't know. I mean, I agree with you. There was obviously more talent in the ring, and there was 6 dudes versus 2 women. But I feel like, WWE came out swinging and they were like, all right, Rhea Ripley is better than 6 dudes. And that's what they said. That's what Triple H said. Rhea Ripley. And you know what? The difference was negligible. Roxanne Perez.
Both matches.
I'm just saying. I'm not disagree with you. Look, I'm not trying to fight you on this. I'm just telling you that WWE was like, Rhea Ripley is better than 6 of your best dudes. That's what they did. They went. And it's weird because like they put their cock out with like a women's match, right? They were just like,
he always does. He always does.
But he put it out and he was like, my women are more over than your best teams. And we're going to go head to head. There were 6 dudes in this. 6 men could barely beat Rhea Ripley.
I mean,
I'm just, am I wrong?
Listen, Bud, all I'm trying to say is like, there was no wrong choice, but I just chose to go one way. Like,
I'm not telling you that you're wrong. I'm just telling you that the fucking balls,
I agree. I love it.
Steel balls here.
That's the kind of stuff like as like a marquee fan, right? That like I look at and I'm like, oh man, like it took a lot to do that. Knowing what's going on, and like you've got to think about that stuff. It's like
I mean, he could have. He could
It's
have
fun to watch it from that aspect, though.
He
What I'm
could have
trying to say.
threw a Braun Breaker and everybody else 3-on-3 out there to start. He could have
led. He could have led with the title match. Oh no, that was on fucking Saturday.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he could have he could have done whatever he wanted, but he was like, nah, Rhea's better than me.
Listen, I love it. I love it, and I
it
miss
was
that.
it was such a just like no, I have this human, this wrestler is better than 6 of yours.
I miss that
Because Roxanne Perez, look, I like Roxanne, but Roxanne's not. She's not a main event talent. She's not there. She's not. So, but she can work. She's developmental, but she can work. And they were like,
you know what I really like about what NXT is doing right now, what NXT did specifically for this show on Tuesday. They stacked it up with a bunch of main roster folks, right? So they're essentially using AEW's model of bringing in established stars and building around them. They're essentially using AEW star or their map, their roadmap, and they did it to them, and they did it better than they did with the incorporation of the more veteran talent with the new up and comers. They did it better than them.
Yeah, because they didn't. And I mean, look. Was there a former WWE champion on NXT on Tuesday? No, there wasn't. No, wait, AJ was there. AJ didn't wrestle though.
AJ wasn't there. I didn't see AJ. Nope. Kevin Owens was there.
Okay. KO was there. All right. Anyway. So I don't know, man. It was weird to watch because it was like they just rolled out the stars. Mandy, I don't know. It was such a, I mean, to put just let's mush. Mandy didn't come back to Halloween Havoc though, right? I'm wrong.
No, she didn't come back to Halloween Havoc.
Yeah, I'm mushing these together. No, just good. I mean, it was good stuff. Look, they both put on good cards. Yep. And I'm not here to be like, oh, NXT put on a shit show. They didn't. Or AEW put on a shit show. They didn't. It was fine.
No.
It was good.
No. It was fun. It was fun to have that feeling though, the just that touch of competition. It was fun. It was fun from a fan perspective too. Yeah. It was fun. I don't know, man. I'm really interested to see how things continue to shake out with AEW and the restructuring over in WWE. Man, it's an interesting time to be a wrestling fan, and I'm really been enjoying even some bad shows. Just watching all the fallout. It's been a lot of fun.
The fallout's been more fun than the bad shows. I feel like the bad shows have been extra bad. I hate. Oh, it's War Joe. Are you fucking how do you not? How do you put
chemistry though, bud?
They're both individually fantastic. You're gonna put Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Hey, let's just instead of have Roman Reigns run the whole goddamn show and Seth Rollins run another whole goddamn show. Let's just put them together and make it be a weird bullshit tag team of no. It's. Would you have had Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes? Hey, Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes, you guys are just gonna be a tag team now, and that's gonna no, and that's what they're doing, and I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it because it diminishes everybody. Samoa Joe should be killing people on his way to the top. And because he doesn't have time left. Look, Samoa Joe is on the timer is ticking.
Yeah.
Okay. And Samoa Joe should be killing people on his way to the top to be the top guy, have a top guy run for 6 months, and then fucking retire and go away because you're almost 50 goddamn years old. Somehow you're still Samoa Joe. But that needs to be the case with Samoa Joe, right? Like, you don't have time to fuck around and be like, oh, let me like help Wardlow, who's already over as hell. Like, just be a War Joe, ha ha ha. Like, no. This is a terrible use of this. Like, you have to bring timing into this. You have to bring. It's almost like well, instead of like letting Ben Roethlisberger in his prime, be the starting quarterback, maybe he can be like the backup quarterback for all these shittier quarterbacks, younger quarterbacks who maybe probably won't win a lot of football games, but like maybe Ben could come in and like save a few of them. And it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Wardlow's over. He doesn't need Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is on his way out and could benefit the company and shoot them to the moon. But they're not doing that. They're just like, and maybe it's on Joe. Maybe Joe's like, well, I got all these speaking roles. I got this shit to do. I got all these TV deals, and I'll be here. In 2 weeks.
But I don't hate it nearly as much as you. Like
I don't hate it. Look, I love seeing Samoa Joe on TV. I don't hate it at all. I like anytime I can see Samoa Joe on TV. I like it, but I think it's a waste of goddamn talent.
I mean, maybe they're just using him to get Wardlow the big guy, the big tough guy rub. I mean, the promo that they cut on Tuesday was good. It was there was chemistry there.
Is that going to be the end though? Out is Joe's end going to be just like giving Wardlow the rub, and then Joe's going to go like voiceover?
Maybe,
and maybe that's it. Look, if that's the case, I'll be disappointed. I will be disappointed. But you know what? I've been disappointed before.
Right. I don't think that anything that Samoa Joe is doing right now diminishes his legacy in my eyes, at least. So, all right. I don't think we're getting Derek back, so we're just going to go ahead and.
Hey,
Tom, match of the week.
Why don't I have a mouse? I don't have a mouse. Now I have a mouse. All right. Yeah.
Was I there? Did I throw it?
No, it's okay. So my match of the week was actually the ladder match on Halloween Havoc for the vacant. Why was this vacant? I didn't watch NXT a little bit, so it was vacant. But the vacant
because Solo they stripped Solo Sikoa of the.
But like they didn't put it on somebody else. They just stripped him.
Yep, they stripped him and then they just held it. And
they're just
then
you're leaving.
Guys had matches to get into the ladder match.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so
they got some legs out of it.
I mean, this ladder match was incredible. I mean, they got Nathan Fraser, Nathan Fraser has never put on a bad match in his life. This man is incredible. Holy shit. Like, I mean, I've watched most of his NXT matches, and every one of them has been like, I can't believe how good this is. Nathan Fraser, Oro Mensah. He was sort of a non-factor in the match. Carmelo Hayes, who is unbelievable. Carmelo Hayes is like, we talk about Braun Breaker.
He's got main event written all over him.
I mean, Carmelo Hayes he's the dude. Like, he's the next guy. Wesley, I know they're high on him. I mean, he was good. He's very good in any role they put him in. He's going to be sort of the like.
I'm happy for him, man, because I was really concerned that he was going to get lost in the shuffle with the whole drama around the MSK thing. Like,
sure.
He's
going to be their insert guy, though, right? Like, he's going to be the guy they're going to be like, all right, you're in this tag team with this other guy who's good, and that's going to be the thing. He's going to be an Intercontinental Champion at some point, and that's going to be good. He's going to be, they'll tickle him into title pictures, here and there. I don't know that he's ever going to be a top guy. He's a little too small for that, but like he's going to be a great placement guy. And they're going to put him all over the mid and top card title stuff. And he was fantastic in this match. And then Von Wagner, who's a huge guy, who is still too green to hold anything substantial, but has potential. I hope he realizes it, but he's not there yet. But I'm glad they're still giving him time.
I'd rather watch Daniel Garcia, bro.
I would not, but I hope that Von Wagner turns out. He might not. He may be just a nothing. He may
Wow,
never make it a.
You really are gonna sit there and tell me that Von Wagner has more charisma than Daniel Garcia? I can't go for that.
Everybody has more charisma than Daniel Garcia, and that's
God.
everybody does. You do, I do, Derek does. My son does, my daughter does, my wife does. Everybody has more charisma than Daniel Garcia. I have never seen. You know who else? Like I would say that like fucking Wheeler Yuta doesn't have a lot of charisma, but he's got more charisma than Daniel Garcia does. Like he's got like bags more of it because Daniel Garcia has like negative charisma. His charisma is like a vacuum of suck. He is a suck that he is the least charismatic person in every room he has ever stepped foot in. It's
Who
like
are you
who
talking
likes
about, Von Wagner?
no Daniel Garcia? Who likes
No.
who likes this guy? Look, Von Wagner is at least like a. Anyway, his name is stupid, but he's going to need repackaged. He's probably going to fail. It's probably going to fail. But anyway, this match was tremendous. Everybody played their part. Everybody did a great job. And I mean, it was a great ladder match. And Wesley won. The underdog, the guy who I was going to this, like, Carmelo's going to get this, right? Melo's getting this. I had no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. And that didn't happen. And my mind was blown. I kind of didn't recover, honestly, until Apollo Crews fell through a coffin. I kind of didn't recover.
It's a casket, pal.
But they called it a coffin when he fell through it. But it was a casket match. You're right.
AEW uses the coffin.
It's a coffin. Oh God. But the live call was I broke right through the coffin. But you're right. It's a casket match. Didn't snap out of that until then. And that was a whole extra match. But yeah, cool. Honorable mention goes to. I know a lot of people shit on this, but like the cinematic match between Alba Fire and Mandy Rose. Mandy, lost her brother, so it makes sense in that regard. Like in non-kayfabe, it makes sense, but also within like the Halloween Havoc creepy spookiness of it, it made sense. And so I liked it in that aspect of it because it was just sort of an entertaining thing. I didn't think anything cool was going to happen.
So I've not watched Halloween Havoc yet, which is probably why we didn't talk about it that much today.
But I mean, it was cool. It was just like the other day, so it was.
Yeah, I've not had enough time in my schedule.
Like you've been at work, but it was a great show. I would say the only thing that's up for grabs, really, because everything else is just, top tier, amazing. The only thing that's up for grabs is probably the women's championship between Alba Fire and Mandy Rose because it's kind of a cinematic thing. You'll either like it or you won't, and it's not.
Well, check it out.
And it's not. Go into it thinking that it's like, don't go into it thinking that everybody's going to get over and it's a star thing. Go into it. It's the gimmick, and think spooky Halloween.
Yeah, that's what Halloween Havoc is.
Think Ernest Scared Stupid.
Yeah,
because also you get Shotzi and Quincy Elliott to co-host the thing.
I started to watch it. Like that's painful. Like I'm good.
It was fine. Come on.
I'm good.
Come on.
That's probably why I turned it off. I'm good. Hey, Sedana and Death Dogs. Melo's got to be moving up to the NXT title scene. I would absolutely agree.
At least that, if not going up to the main roster.
That's a possibility too. I think Cameron Grimes is on his way to the main roster also.
I think they're going to pull a bunch of guys up. Through the end of the year, I would think that there's a level of like, you pull these guys up and you have them run the house shows. They run the matches before it goes to the live event. They run the dark matches, and they get over to the live audience. That's just the way that WWE works, right? They bring the guys up, they run the dark matches, they do some stuff. You see them on main event, just fighting like, whomever, and it becomes a thing. And then they make their live debut, but it's like we knew it was coming. because if you watch main event or you watch whatever else, like it's there they were there and they got 8 minutes because it's only a 30-minute show, and they were one of 3 matches that went 5 to 8 minutes.
Yeah, they got edited.
They got for sure.
Minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
The best parts of it, because that's
Absolutely
what happens on a show like that that's syndicated.
And that's why it's fun to just throw on and be like, cool. Because,
it's a better
Dana
version of AEW Dark.
Yeah. Dana Brooke's on there.
Huh.
Who don't like Dana Brooke?
Well, it's most underwhelming disappointment I've seen in a very, very long time. She should be headlining the women's division, not toting around the 24/7 championship.
Well, I tried to, but what was your match of the week? Come on.
My match of the week was definitely going to irritate the ever-loving piss out of you, and I can't wait. Chris Jericho versus Dalton Castle for the Ring of Jericho World Championship. Wow. What a good match, man.
Jericho.
What a good match.
Like Jericho.
The Ocho, baby.
The Ocho.
All hail the Ocho. That's definitely his.
I didn't watch. So, spoiler. I actually don't hate this. I didn't watch the match. I don't care about Chris Jericho anymore. But I know who Dalton Castle is, and I imagine this was probably pretty decent because Jericho can work a little bit. I mean, he's old, but Dalton Castle's actually really good at working. So it was
a great match, right?
But I'm not surprised.
I like all the little goo goo gaga shit that comes with Dalton Castle's gimmick, right? Like,
and
he was like coming down the ring.
Jericho too.
I had heard his name, but I've never seen him wrestle. And when he was making his entrance, and they were like, "Oh, you got the boys and this," and I'm like, "What in the fuck is going on?" It's actually kind of impressive, right? Like there's that much thought put into a gimmick on that level by an individual and have it come off the way that it does. It's a brilliant character, and really, really, really backed it up inside the ring for me.
So you were really impressed with the character.
I was.
Okay. I mean, I knew who he was, and I've seen the character before. So it was one of those things where I was like, oh shit, Dalton Castle, all right. Yeah. Like I didn't watch it. I just kind of read about it after the fact, and I've not seen a second of it.
Yeah, you should watch it. Listen.
Okay.
Go your way. Watch it.
Oh, all right.
I enjoyed it.
Why don't JBL suits fit anymore? Remember when JBL suits fit?
Yeah.
They hang off of him like he's a child wearing his father's suit.
Yeah, he looks like the Kingpin.
Does he have cancer?
Spider-Man. Look,
I don't want him to have cancer. Does he have cancer?
He looks like the Kingpin from Spider-Man with his pants, like the way they're all baggy and shit. Like if he was a big fat guy.
His jacket's baggy.
He looks terrible. JBL looked like he was in the 2003 NBA draft.
Can we not? Yes. Can we not buy this man a suit that fits him? Look, I understand that he's an older man now and he's not the same size that he used to be. But maybe just give him a suit that fits. Don't make him dig out the suits he wore 10, 12 years ago.
That's 100% what they did. They were like, "Oh, JBL's back on the lineup. Let's roll out the JBL trunk. Dust the cobwebs off of it.
Just buy the man a suit. They're giving Baron Corbin a new goddamn ring gear every week. Can you get JBL a one blue suit, a one goddamn suit? Why is he got to be out here in a suit that looks like it was for full size him when he was fucking Bradshaw of the APA? What can just get the man a suit that fits. That's all I'm asking for. Get the man a suit to fit. His pants fit a little better this week, but they only bought him the pants. Why did they only buy him the pants? They bought him pants.
Bud.
Good God.
I'm with you, man. I really am.
Just buy the guy a suit that fits.
Okay,
just one fucking suit.
He needs a fucking suit that fits. We get it. All right,
one
listen.
Suit.
Check us out over on Twitter and Instagram at @1_fall WC. That's ONE. If you're with us, we appreciate you. With all that being said, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. One Fall WrestleCast.